real quick because shit's getting misconstrued. Okay. And I just sent your dad in Virginia a message.
I don't care if you're including all these people in these storylines you're writing in your own head. I don't give a shit. And you're being.
Seneca, I called to tell you that if you're going to be pissed off at anybody, be pissed off at me because I'm the one that told Virginia flat out.
I already know that you've hated me and hate me and have like your own little precedents, and I don't care. But I'm not going to play these games like we are going to act like all of a sudden we're friends one minute and then not the next, okay? Like,
you want to treat us this way, Seneca?
Treat you this way? You should look in the mirror right now, Sarah. You're not a saint right now, Sarah.
You know what, Seneca, at this point...
What did I do to you, Sarah? How have I treated you anyway, Sarah? You're the one who treats people disrespectfully.
Are you listening to me? Yes, I am. So, something for you, because I love you, okay? I love you. Well, hold on. The reason why I think that they... Godly blessed by God. I love God. Well, this gives us what we need. And Lord knew that fucking today when my starter came in, because he had to order a whole brand new starter, dude. Fucking that over fucking flour, because flour I get an allergic reaction to. It fucks with my sinuses bad. That's why when I smoke flour, you know, it's gotten to a point where I've either thrown up or I start getting fucking really congested. I'm having allergic reactions to the flour. So anyway, when he said to me, he's just like, dude, I can get some pretty sick fucking dabs, really good shit for decent money. And at first I'm like, I don't know if I really want to get involved with a kid from fucking work.
the demeanor of Lon from the past to the present future now has been almost like a sabotage Seneca or a against Seneca kind of format. And that's,
Well, I don't know if that was the case. I'm not, you know,
well, I'm
I
talking
think
about all the conversations and Lon's, like how he talks about me behind my back and acts towards how he will side with people based off their analogy towards me. Like, let's say they have a discrepancy with me and they're in the room talking about how they're upset about Seneca. He chimes in instead of defending me or being a brother. He will then chime in, and it's like this hate Seneca club, and it's really strange
yeah,
because it's
you know,
followed
one
me.
time, here's what I noticed. It's not just about you. I
I
think that Ron has a tendency to take that stance no matter who it is. It's just that, you know, and this is what concerns me, and it brings my hat out to Lon, is the fact that he feels as though he's got to be on the fence. It's basically, you know, I'm wanting a friend enough to go ahead and, I think it was you that told me that story.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it is. That you told me this story about how there was this a fellow in your life that you guys were tight until you get around somebody else.
Yeah,
Then
Timmy
you were,
Caldwell.
yeah. Then what was it, Timmy Caldwell?
Yep, Timmy Caldwell. That put a 20 gauge shotgun
Okay.
in my face and didn't stick up.
Yeah. So it basically like that. But you know what? Believe this, that after that happened, after because he might have been afraid of this other guy, or you know, this guy here was, you know, was popular, or whatever it is. You know, I don't know what it is, but you know what? The whole time he knew that you were the real thing. He knew that you were a better friend. He didn't have to put on any airs when he was with you. And I'm talking about Timmy Caldwell. And you know what? He sold you out because of this dickhead that thought that he was, you know, Mr. Magnificent or whatever. You know, a megalomaniac. But anyways, maybe Lon has a touch of that. Of the fear deal where he's got to shift his real.
What I love about astrology, and if you study it, and I think it's very crucial in this path of life, in your own personal journey, your own personal existence. You know, I was born alone in this realm. I come from somewhere else before I got here. I've always been me. I just needed to bloom into me. And I don't need permission to be me. I'm already here.
That's right. That's
So
what I feel, and that's what I have always felt. I felt like I always existed.
so when I look at the soul charts and something about the sign of Libra, it's all about the scales of justice. And what can happen is that you can lean too much favorable in the opinion of others that you lose your own. And
you know what, son? And you are exactly right. The bark remedy for Libra is Tarantulas. And Tarantulas is the remedy, the bark remedy for those that cannot make a decision. They're always juggling, trying to feel which is the right one. They're trying to get the scale balance.
yes, exactly.
So,
and so if you got a voice in your ear, how can you have your own voice of reason?
Exactly. That's exactly
so
right.
Sarah is the consistent voice in Lon's ear that's making Lon not be stable enough because he's not rooted with his family. He doesn't believe in his family, so he doesn't believe in himself.
Yeah,
he doesn't spend.
Son, this is where you can have mercy. You know, and that's what it's all about. The Lord has mercy on us, so we try to have mercy. We try to replicate the image of God. So, you know, I called you with this in mind, just because, you know, everything that I'm like holding on to us with, you know, I mean,
Here's what I'm going to say right here, okay? Because you called me. And so I'm going to say this right here.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm doing shadow work between the entire situation that happened, and I'm making peace with Lon and Sarah inside me right now. The whole situation, okay?
Yeah.
But I am not a human floor mat. I will refuse to put myself anymore in a situation. I will stand silently around them, and whatever they think I am is exactly who they are, but they failed to see that in the full depth spectrum of the regurgitated oral diarrhea that comes out of their mouth. It has nothing to do with me. Nothing.
That's
They
exactly right.
and from each day to the next is filled with either goodness and simplicity and nature and wholesomeness, that if you watch nature, life can be just as peaceful and simple as that. Or it can have static, noise, drama, and all this extra filled bullshit that's nonsense in the end, and it's a big major distraction.
That's where hurricanes come from. That's where tornadoes come from. That's where volcanoes come from. It's a mental situation that's going on the planet.
After being over there and seeing it for what it is, I choose now, in all respects and with all due diligence of right to do so, I live a peaceful life. I am not a part of the mucky muck. I live in peace with God. I walk with God. And the only way to continue to do that is not to walk among men that are now in the form of animals and beasts and take on this true fleshly creature persona, but then look out to everyone else and act like they are walking around in some kind of form of godliness. You cannot argue with ignorant people. They will bring you down to their level and beat you with experience.
That's why you gotta walk away. So,
absolutely.
You know what, son? This is what I'm looking at on a world scope. The reason why all this stuff is going on, you know, that's the goal, it's just like the communist nations, are to get all the people in as subjects, basically slaves. And, this is a reoccurring thing that's gone on through history. And, and the reason for this is because of the separation of brotherhood, of sisterhood, of really being together and bonded.
So here's what I have an answer to is that. The real remedy is this. Like-minded men must take time to be around other like-minded men. Freemasons, you can't just go sign up to become a Freemason. Freemasons seek out other Freemasons, and you have to be invited in by another brother. That way your society isn't muddled with a bunch of weeds and tares and naysayers and sayers, so it becomes a big giant debate. Because a collective body of minds that all believe the same thing and are in the same exact agenda, they are in unison with each other, now manifesting an understanding of that reality. When someone like Lon comes into play, he's not realizing that he's a nation going to war with other nations. He's already at war with himself. So what he's doing is he's playing off the vibrations and the mirrors of other people, while deep inside, if you listen to him, it's always, I'm a victim from this circumstance. Everything costs this much. And I'm not going to tell him how to live his life anymore. I'm not going to do this edification and give him instruction to live. He's not even trying to be a better person right now. All he's doing is like this little kid that's saying, wah, wah, wah. And when I walked into the house, I looked down at Mom, I hit record, and me and her are having this amazing conversation. he's starting to storm around and pout, and he's getting upset. Then he went out to the garage. He grabbed a book full of jewelry equipment and then some books, and he slammed him down on the table, interrupting me and Mom. And the way that he was making it, it was very rude. And I recorded the whole entire thing. And you know what? I don't have to defend myself. That's what I'm starting to see. Next time Lon and Sarah write you guys, I'm letting you know right now, the one who accuses is the one who has to bear the burden of proof. No one has a right to come to me and start asking me questions whatsoever and expect answers out of me. If this was a courtroom right now, my defense is silent. Talk to my attorney, which is God. Good day. That's how I'm seeing it from now on. Next time Lon, who's 40-something years old, older than me, and his... How old is she?
You know what I'm saying here? Just stepping back. And I'm just stepping back. Like, I'm not related to anybody.
Yep, we're best friends.
Okay?
You're my friend, right?
Back.
Are you my friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I am.
Great.
And the great thing is you're my son and I'm your father. That's, I'm just proud to be your father, and I hope that...
I am literally proud to be your son, because without your mind and body and understanding and me and my true soul of... Okay, I'll give an example. I went back in deep. Even right now, I know I have to forgive Lon because Lon's me. But once I hit this certain precipice, I'm praying to God that he just creates these walls of where we have a civil relationship, but it doesn't have to be this ideal thing of where Lon uses me anymore the way he wants to. It's not going to happen anymore. I am no longer going to devalue myself by going around someone who doesn't value me and allow myself to be abused or...
Exactly. That's exactly what I said to Lon, and I think that Sarah was listening last night.
Okay.
When I was talking to them on the phone, saying that you're not taking your brother seriously. That's showing value. When you take something, if you have value in $1, you're serious about preserving that dollar. I'm just using that as an analogy, but whatever it may be, I mean, if you got food for your family, you value that food, you're taking it seriously. So you take things that you value seriously. So I said to him, you're not taking your brother seriously. Hey, here's the thing is, you got to experience what's going on now. Not anything to do with the past, not when he was in the second grade, not when he was, a young man walking the streets, whatever. You take it for now. And you know what? Every day's a new day, so you accept it that way, and you accept people that way. So that gives everybody a new day.
I love my life story.
We all walk around with putting marks on people. I mean, that's how we're going right with what these global elitists want us to do. Separate. They don't want us
together.
What? They don't want...
I walked into a battlefield and I accepted. If I keep trying to run away or put up shields, I'm only getting hurt worse. I'm going to stand here and say, thank you guys. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'm rejoicing in it. I'm going to accept it. Thank you for it. Thank you, Lon. Thank you, Sarah. Because you know what?
I love you for that. Man, you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
That's what it is.
You know what? That's truly how you change people.
Yep.
Because, otherwise we're creating this separation
Unfortunately, all I see when I close my eyes is I see Lon and Sarah. Sarah's on the left and Lon is on the right. They're looking at me in my face like they're my mommy and daddy and trying to tell me how things are going to be. And then I look behind them and there's my mom laying on a hospital bed dying. So it's like, oh, thank you guys so much.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Let me get this real quick.
Okay.
We'll continue this. Don't hang up.
Okay. Yeah, I was praying to the Lord.
Hey, what happened?
I'm still here. You there?
Hold on. Hey, I lost Virginia. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, I love you, son. Hold on.
I love you too. Hello?
Hey, son.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah. Hey. That was funny. Anyways, I told the king I was on the phone with you and that we switched over or something. I don't know how. Anyways, she wanted to let you know that I don't know, it's important to her.
What'd you say?
She wanted to let you know that she loves you and she's really sorry at herself for letting Sarah coax her, or sometimes when somebody says something ridiculous, it can cause us to want to come forward and involve yourself in a bunch of crap that doesn't even have anything to do with you. And the next thing you know, you're in this big drama that you should have just stayed out of. You shouldn't involve yourself. That's what I do. If I see a bunch of stuff that doesn't have anything to do with me but somebody else's life, I just, well, I'm sorry they're going through all this, but I don't even answer it. And most of the time, I don't even read it. But anyways,
what I like to do now is study the human personality to understand myself deeper. And what I learned was this. What you don't like about others, if you're not careful, you can become what you hate. So learn to love what you hate and accept it somehow. Ask yourself why you don't like it, all these particular things. That's why I'm thanking right now Lon and Sarah, because they're actually teaching me the darkest.
You know what? This is amazing. You're looking at things the exact way that I do.
Yep, this is how I do it. And I try to teach Lon this stuff because I love him, but I realize you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it, and eventually, like I said, you can either be a victim or a victor. You can't be both. And when Lon talks, it's always he's a victim. So what does that make me then? I must have a pirate ship out here in sea blasting these guys away, and they're calling Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Lon in Virginia, come aboard. I need help. Join the fight. Okay? Yeah. And what, you guys are going to start?
The whole time, Seneca, they're laying on the couch. That's the problem with all of this.
Well, they're the ones who are
laying on the couch. If you look at the word love is love being an action. I mean, I'll tell you what, to love somebody is not just laying on the couch saying, I love you. To love, as Jesus said, it's easy to love your brother. It's easy to love somebody that loves you. The whole thing is to love somebody that's coming up against you.
So I'm going to see, have I ever done this in a past life before? Have I ever done this before? What Sarah's doing? She is,
You know what? That's a good question. You may have.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see right now. So let me think about this.
The plan that brings this back into context.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, why is this even in my life in the first place?
You're gonna get through this time.
And the truth is that Lon is a reflection of me. He has Sarah in his life for a reason. As much as she could seem to be a blessing, to be honest with you, I mean, from my outside perspective looking in, that looks like a blessing, sounds like a blessing, but it's not really a blessing to me. Sorry. When I look back on April as a woman, if I could take away and strip away the ideas of what a woman's supposed to be and just look at women, Virginia's a good woman. April's actually a good woman. Tony, not really a good woman, no offense, but she has a lot of work to do. I'm not saying that she can't be a good woman.
Oh, absolutely. Totally
Same with
agree.
Sarah. Sarah just keeps gaslighting people. So let's look up the definition of gaslight and get it truly accurate. And, this is just going to get the Google's term, at least so far, but gaslight definition. All right. So the first one is a type of lamp in which an incandescent mantle is heated by a jet of burning gas. And then the next one is manipulate, in parentheses, someone using psychological methods into questioning their own sanity or powers of reasoning. So this is where...
Sounds like the world today.
Yeah, I know, right? This is where you're around somebody and I don't have to ask myself whether what I think or believe or whatever inside me is true. It's just the moment I speak and choose to express that opinion is when either the matrix of people around me are going to look at me and say yay or nay. And then the moment that somebody looks at me and says, you're crazy, what they're trying to do is get me to question my own sanity and powers of reason to manipulate me to have a form of control or some kind of ideological, web over me that I'm supposed to be compliant to. Okay. Because,
Right. Yeah. That's right.
Nothing's
That's right, son.
real. It's all an idea. And so,
You know what? You know the cool thing about the scriptures is it gives us a standard to weigh on.
a foundation.
Yep. When people try to come at you with this, what you call this gaslighting approach, which is kind of, I'm really happy that you brought that up. You can go ahead and question both sides, you and the other side, and see. I mean, it's
God made the devil. So the devil wants you to look at your enemy as though it's not you and then start treating yourself like shit, which is them. That's how the devil works. So right now I'm seeing Sarah, and when I feel into Sarah, I'm not going to lie, there's an empty vessel there. I don't feel an essence out of Sarah. I really don't. It's really strange. And I never really noticed it until I started to self-reflect on Sarah.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Sarah, and to tell you the truth, I'm probably going along with, with what I've been listening to from other people.
And by the way, that's my own personal opinion. You don't have to listen.
Not listening to myself, because I really don't have that much relations with Sarah. I mean, it's only hello and how you doing and all this. I don't really know Sarah. So, but what I have known through, hello and all this is okay, but, this experiences with her true self comes out, and I don't even know if it is her true self. I shouldn't.
Well, it's like I tell Lore.
I'm not that great to be able to say that, well, this is how this person...
No, hold on. It's a way to look at it is like this, Dad, okay? There's actually three selves, but there's also two main real components. Self is the one that everyone sees, the person, the mask, the persona. It's the one that we show to everyone, and it kind of is built off our sociological skills that form in our first 7 years and how we interact with people, and kind of I was the guy that was always used as an example, okay? Don't be like Seneca or you're going to get in trouble. Don't be like Seneca or, you'll end up being this way, or get these consequences. So I was used as an example to kind of control the rest of the bunch, if you think about it. Whereas I was a rebel and didn't care what other people thought. That's like my archetype in a way. But what the next one is the self that we only show the loved ones. And then the other self is the one that we never show anybody. But it's like I'm trying to tell Lore. The more you're around me, you're going to see my light self and then my dark self. The dark self is the one that comes out and it's angry sometimes. It can get a little carried away with a little overreacting. It's the sexual self that can kind of get tempted and pull you into different directions. It's the self that has a negative opinion and you have to respect this self, the scary self, the one that's very scary inside you that you're always trying to hold back because if you don't recognize your murderer, then you're in denial of a murderer, and you never know when you may be triggered to raise your fist, to start screaming at somebody. And screaming is no different than the act of violence, and it's no different than the act of coming close to hurting somebody, which then can be an overreaction. And I've watched many murder interrogations of where, when it's all done, they're first trying to deny it. What am I here for? Then when they get caught, they don't want to assume accountability. They don't want to assume that, dude, I did something really bad. It's all about them. It's all about them. It's unbelievable. And so now that I get to see these parts of the darkest realms of humanity, which are the parts that we're in denial of, which is the parts that we don't believe, which actually gives more emphasis of the structure of this type of archetypical structure of the psychological self. Does this make sense?
Yeah. And that is definitely true. The way I look at that is I look at it as a garden.
It is a garden. It is a garden.
The garden, the Garden of Eden. That's, where each area, and it's all because of the fall. But, the deception, each area has great things, fruits of life. Then there's areas that aren't so favorable, and then there's real dark spots. But if you, and that's in your own self. If you let that side thrive by going up, not even going up against these things, but going up against it with love. That fellow that's ashamed and doesn't know how to respond except through, either murder or what have you, through feeling less than and wanting to go ahead and kill what he's seeing as more than. If there was just an understanding and a love that takes work towards.
Here, do this with me real quick. All right, close your eyes. You got a moment to close your eyes?
Go ahead.
Okay, so close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath in. Hold it. Release. Take another deep breath. Hold it. Release. Now say this to yourself. I am love.
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 I am love. I am love.
I am love.
I am love. I am peace.
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 I am love.
I am love.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Image. It's good. It's good.
Just be here now in it.
That's our walk, son. That's our walk.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this moment. Thank you for this vibration. Thank you for this walk. Thank you for this day. Thank you for my father. Thank you for my dad, the one that you gave me as a dad, who is your
My
son.
son.
Thank you, who is your
Thank you
son,
for
who
my
is
son.
my dad, who is my father, in this image of you, Father. So we are the image of each other, which is our God. And the more that we forgive
Yes.
ourselves and walk in love, we're forgiving our
Yes.
whole walk of all our ancestors. Now, Lon wants to be a master. He thinks he knows everything. In fact, I was listening to our recordings today and I was like, well, and I started teaching him and things. He's like, yeah, I know. Oh, I already know. Oh, I already know. So he knows everything. How can
Yeah,
you
I know
teach
it.
somebody that
That
knows
already
everything?
knows it. Yeah, you can't. And
So,
I noticed that. And nothing against Lon. You know, a lot
no,
of
I'm not
people do
speaking
this.
ill against Lon. I'm
Oh no,
pointing
no,
out.
no, no. Oh no.
Okay.
Now I'm talking. So I
Okay.
just want to go ahead and let you know, nothing against Lon, but you know, to tell you the truth, in my not understanding that's really what aggravates me.
Well, I never noticed it till today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going back over our recordings and listened to our conversation, and I started
Oh,
teaching
okay.
Lon.
All right. Now I've noticed this. You know, I'm there like, well, if you know all this, how come your life is so? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, that was magical. That was a magical statement. You got me. Well, the reason why I'm laughing is because, okay, in life I'm pretty innocent. I'm just really walking around. It's not like I'm trying to remember everything.
Yeah,
that's why I
that's a good deal.
that's why I
That's a good
record
deal.
everything. I mean, everyone's got this. I realize the one who's in the garden that's pointing fingers and starts to accuse, that's the one, that's the enemy right there. So you got to love your enemy.
The accuser.
So,
The accuser.
you
Yep.
got this person who's coming around and throwing the stones, male, female, it doesn't matter. And, you're around them and it's nothing but caca that's being breathed out of their mouth. And it's very difficult to be around them, So it's like,
Who's without sin throw the first stone?
yeah, well, exactly. So they throw these stones, and then next I'm under attack. So now I got to sit here and accept that I'm under attack. I can no longer try to flee anymore. This is because it's not working. So I'm going to stand here strong with love. I accept it.
Yeah.
I accept you.
Well, you know what? And that's really cool. Because to begin with in our lives when we're youngsters, or we're actually young on this planet. We develop a strategy or a method to battle who we feel as though we got to battle, and a lot of times it's other people, so that we find a way that will go ahead and put us in a position of power, and that may be through some form of hey, this is me, and I'm a force to be reckoned with. And we can that can be a start, just because we didn't have any other guidance. We didn't have a real father to guide us, Yeah, and there's a lot of people in the world that have that, it's, but, through, praying to God and being a child of God, realizing this, we see there's actually a different way about it. But that's not saying that strength that you found to overcome the adversary in your younger life, that's not saying that was that was a wrong way. In some way, it's a right way.
There was a thing that I
And
learned.
I see that in you. You know, and it may have been, and you know, what really stinks is all of this is fear based. You know,
At the end of the day, I learned this right here, okay? Lon and Sarah are just following a role that they don't realize that they're following. Okay, perfect.
Right. Yeah.
My mom taught me this by her passing. Each moment passes by. Each moment passes by so delicately, so precious. And you'll never get each moment back. Each moment is golden in life. This conversation right here is priceless in the end. I could die tomorrow. You could die tomorrow. And that's why I post everything I do on YouTube. It's for my daughter, and it's not for you and anybody else. It's for other people that love me and my message and understand what I'm doing in this reality, this realm that's beyond what other people think is deciding of purpose and necessity. But with my mom, she taught me this, okay? We would go, I spent a lot of time always thinking about how me and you kind of fell apart and it didn't work out the way I wanted. And then I ended up with Roof Masters and that didn't really work out well. And then, April, she always kind of became like a priority that I made in my mind that, then kind of made me at times not necessarily sacrifice myself. I mean, all this time for the last 9 years, I've been studying the Bible, law, esoterics. I've been reading astrology deeper. I'm into psychology now. I'm studying all the depths of all these things of metaphysics and stuff that is what I've been, I don't know, without realizing that I've been doing it the whole entire time, is what God has been forming me. The more that I give myself to God and follow God. Well, God will put you in strange places, regardless whether you want to be there or not. And the thing that I learned about Mom was I should have just put my cares aside a little bit and just been in the moment. I didn't think a little bit about slowing down a little bit and just being there, taking time with each precious moment. Instead, it was, Mom, you're kind of like, man, like you're taking forever. What the fuck? And I would have to leave the store to go smoke a cigarette because I was so aggravated with my own self. I couldn't even have patience with my own self that now when I look back on it, I kind of disrupted a frequency, and it gave me a deeper appreciation of things, of spending time with people that I now understand in the preciousness of life. Even being with her, it was always like, well, I came to your house, and I'm not trying to rub salt in any wounds, but it's my life. This is my story. This is my testimony. And I had an idea, which I still have the idea, it's not gone, is to go to school for website designing, which I paid for the money, and I still have the classes. I just need a better laptop. Once I have the laptop, I can start going to website design, and I can create my own store and start helping other people with their website designs. And I might be able to just make money doing that on the side, along with everything else that I'm doing. And what was I trying to say? My lack of patience with everything. I got upset with you. I went back home, me and Mom. I kept thinking about how I can take care of Mom. What does God say? Those who seek life shall surely find death. That's what I learned. You keep trying to save yourself, you're going to end up dead. That's what I learned. Just sit still, chill, let everything come at you. Don't chase money, success, love, fame, fortune, nothing. It's all right there. And the only thing that matters is this very passing moment right now. That's it. That's it. I love you, Dad. I love you so much. I love every cell in your body, the soul that makes up you. I love your creativity. I love the brain and the soul that has done all the works of art that makes up the real true essence of Lon. because that is a poetic essence of me. My brother, he's trying to teach me something about myself. Sarah, she's trying to teach something about Virginia. Okay? Like, we are mirrors of each other. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
So, Lon, to me, represents the inner child that always got his way and always could be able to be the glory boy. He could always make me look bad his whole life. So I got to forgive him. Lon, I forgive you for making me look bad to make yourself look good. I forgive you because this is my dark self. And I think this is how people take me whenever I'm talking about the truth of the experiences I have. I think they're like, Seneca, you're just trying to blaspheme people and get us to hate people. No, I'm telling you what happened to me. We don't want to hear it, Seneca. And then they side with the person that actually hurt me. So maybe Lon is my shadow self. Yes. Forgive me for resenting, judging, and denying those who had to make me look bad to make themselves look good, Lord. Forgive me for resenting, judging, and denying. You have every reason to feel the pain and bitterness and resentment. What does it feel like? Go back to the very first time that somebody had to make you look bad to make themselves look good. Go back. How does it feel, Seneca? Have you ever had to do this before, Seneca? Are you guilty of this, Seneca? Why do you resent it? What does it feel like? It's okay to resent this. Yes. Allow me to feel this. It's okay. How does this feel? Forgive me for putting this on you as I ask myself to forgive me for putting it on myself, as I forgive myself for putting it on others. Past lives to the present, future, now. Forgive me for putting it on myself, as I forgive myself for putting it on myself, as I forgive those for putting it on me and those who put it on them, Lord. Forgive me for putting us on others, as I ask myself to forgive me for putting it on myself and others, as I forgive us for hanging on to these things and these things for hanging on to us, the resentment, judgment, and denials and all this pain. Allow me to feel this. What does it feel like from the very first time? What did it feel like to be accused of something? Yes, this is it. This is the accuser. This is it. Yes, this is the very beginning of my life. This is my childhood. 7 years old. Keep going back, Seneca. This is the beginning of time. Oh, yes. Okay, I understand now. Yep, Adam and Eve. She made me do it to make himself look good. Oh, poopiness. Forgive me for resenting and allow myself to put this on. I forgive those who have put this on me as I forgive those who put it on themselves, Lord. I can feel it. Oh, yeah, that's huge, man. Oh, yeah. Yep. They don't want to be seen for who they are, and they don't want to face themselves, and that's okay. Darkness cannot see the light, and it comprehendeth not the light. For the light, yes, exactly.
It's really their choice. Being an image of each other is to not be an image of God, I guess.
I was crying and wondering about money. And God showed me that money is not real and people put faith in money. Do I want to put faith in substance that's currency backed up by debt that's not real? It's imaginary. And you can't pay a debt with a debt. So I strongly suggest, well, my suggestion, Dad, is to become a creditor and start learning that stuff. And do it with joy and ease. Take your time, because I've been doing this for a long time. And,
being a creditor.
oh, yeah, I'll teach you what I'm talking about. The more...
Meaning, well, that goes back to the Bible where it says to be the head, not the tail.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're gonna work ourselves through this situation right now to realize this is just one big distraction. It doesn't exist. It's not real.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I said last night. I said to Virginia, because she was so upset. I go, we were just having a real peaceful time. There is a distraction that you allow to come into your head.
You understand that, though. How do you get somebody done? I was trying to talk to Virginia last night, and I'm not going to lie. she was so much wrapped up into this whirlwind of it that I almost hung up the phone. I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But because I knew the answers, how do you get somebody to understand that still feels like they're a victim?
You know what it was, son? She was gone for 2 weeks, and she had already put it into her mind, solidified it, that this here, the coming home is going to be a great moment. We're going to have, a great time together and all this. And it was kind of fused there. And then this interruption. So it was like,
Here's what I would do and recommend in your own way of wording, because it's your wife and you know how to communicate. Like, I'm pretty broad, blunt. It's hard for me. I can't lie. I'm really bad at it. If I do, it really hurts me. It really hurts me to lie. So I do the best that I can at not lying because of these consequences that come very urgently to me and sudden. It's not exactly like I have any time to sit back, and lies don't work for me, but they work for other people. Okay. So, but when it comes down to, okay, what Virginia needs to start exercising is this practice of whenever somebody's coming at her with, let's say, these explosive messages, okay? One, when you know that, okay, when you know that you have no interference with the situation, like, I'm not their marriage counselor, we don't hang out with each other, I'm not trying to give them advice, I'm not trying to be their best friend, I don't even know why they're blowing me up and trying to feel like they have any kind of authority or say in my life. I really don't. I haven't been here in 2.5 years. They really shouldn't even know any of my business, and if they do, listen, they're only going to use whatever they can to give themselves an illusion of power. That's it. Because if they really cared about me, I wouldn't have to explain myself. They would believe in me. They wouldn't be attacking me or any of these things. And so what I have to do is always understand, Seneca, nothing's happening to you and you're not a victim. This is them, not you. Seneca, nothing's happening to you. You're not a victim. And nothing's happening to you. Seneca, this is them, not you. And I have to understand this and get my mind to realize so it doesn't start to react to give into the bullshit. Because they're going to say something and then right away you're going to feel some kind of urge of a defense to defend yourself.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, son.
So,
exactly what I'm talking about. You know what guides me along in these areas here is and you should know this because you like the law, but that's one of the commandments is to love your neighbor as yourself. Love God with all your heart, mind, soul. And even going deeper into this is when the Lord says that the only thing that you'll be judged on is the words that you speak. So it's like I was thinking of this. It's like people are saying like so I guess when you talk, the words that you say, you should make believe that you're being recorded because you really are.
I'm recording this call right now.
By the Almighty.
Yep.
So there's a record of everything you say. So that's why I don't really care about the worldly record. What I'm concerned with is the record that's going to be out there in heaven when we're all there. The
best thing